He's got some pretty big stories throughout his career, and we're hearing all about it.
Yeah, check back in with Cody this morning. He was hanging out in Murphy's. Hey, Cody.
Good morning, you guys. I am having a blast this morning. I am having an absolute blast. Lamont Sanders, we're talking about the space program and all these amazing stories you covered. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's start with this one, the Apollo fire at Cape Canaveral. You got a call and said this was going down.
Yeah, I got a call early in the morning, and it so happened at that time my wife was working for NASA too. But I got a call that said, you better come down, something has happened. So I went down to the press building. They had an office there at Cocoa Beach, which literally was about 200 yards from where I lived. And so it was a terrible day. You know, 3 people dead. Nobody knew exactly what had happened at that time. It took a long time to sort it out and fix things.
Was there a thought that that was it? Like we were not going to go any further because of that?
I think there were some people who felt that way, but I think the momentum was there. Certainly the people involved in the program were not surprised. Well, they were not amazed that there had been a fatality. They expected fatalities.
Yeah, this is dangerous stuff.
They just didn't know where it would come from. And in fact, other astronauts had died flying, and you know, just in routine flights and their trainers and stuff. But we always think, oh well, that's an airplane accident. You know, you don't think about that. But it was, and in my opinion, remains a fairly dangerous thing for people to do.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, let's move forward to Apollo 13. That's you know, one of the famous things. There's a movie made out of it and all this stuff.
Yeah.
What was that like covering it?
Well, that was, again, scary because I was at Houston at the Mission Control Center where they had a press center set up. They did not, nobody knew what had happened. And then when they got to where they could back away and look at the command card, and they saw the whole side of it blown out. I mean, there was immediately thoughts as, you know, we may never get these guys back because they were on the way to the moon. And I think the other part of it is that the NASA people, the contractors and everybody, they don't think like that. They think, okay, we have a problem, let's go solve the problem.
Yeah.
And they just go run off into their labs and test things and check the computers and do stuff. And the world is left waiting. And then every day they come up and say, well, we figured this part out. We know how we can get around the moon and head back to Earth. And then we know how we can use the oxygen supply from the lunar module, landing module, you know, to keep it connected and do things that would be workable. So, you know, they limped back and they made it back, but I don't think until they were on the deck of the carrier that anybody knew they would survive for sure.
Wow.
Which is, they were probably more, these guys are test pilots, you know, they're more sanguine about it than the rest of us would be.
Sanders, thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning.
Glad to do it.
Tell you what, I'm going to bug the heck out of you. I just want you to know this. Now that we're friends, I'm bugging the heck out of you.
Okay.
All right. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Code.
Fascinating.
I don't think he realizes he might have a hard time getting rid of you.
Yeah. I'm moving in.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Code.